And we're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi guys, and welcome to Rising Star, where we bring you the very best in undiscovered, up-and-coming, and quite frankly, artists that you really need to be aware about. And I'm here today with the fabulous UK-based act, Empathy Test. Guys, how are we?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, good.
Very good. Good. Okay, so we're going to start off with Ollie.
Okay.
Chrissy.
Yep.
Adam.
Yep.
And we have the lead singer, Isaac.
Hi.
So guys, it's really good to meet you. I learned from you basically from my channel when I interviewed the one and only Mr. Rusty Egan. You know, you guys have met him,
Yep.
Larger than life.
Yeah.
And Rusty's made it his personal kind of crusade to kind of bring awareness to artists like yourselves who, quite frankly, are, I don't want to say unappreciated, but I just think, you know, if we look at like the mainstream music machine, what it seems to push these days, it doesn't seem to be this kind of music. And I know Rusty has always been, I think he always said he needs to bring awareness to this, and he needs to make the kind of music that he wants to hear because the mainstream are not pushing this. But anyway, as I say, this is how I discovered you. And when I heard your first track, it did remind me a lot of the Drive movie, you know, that the 2011. You've really got that sort of very dreamy electronic sound. So we're going to start off with you guys, your origins. Now, I believe, if it's to be believed on the internet, because, you know, you guys started...
Oh, no.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. No, that's fine. Okay, so you guys started in 2013, is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
we spent a year writing some tracks, and we released our first track in February 2014. Mm-hmm. So that's when we released Losing Touch, and it all kind of kicked off.
Was it, so from the time you started till the time your first song kind of got discovered, was it a long time, or did it go quite quickly?
It happened straight away, didn't it?
Yeah.
As soon as we put it on SoundCloud, I think.
It really got traction.
I remember we put it up, and then it just people started calling, and
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't. It's such a long time ago now. I can't really remember exactly what happened.
Were you surprised when that happened? Was it? Did you think you obviously got inspired and you put this out? But did you have sort of ideas that, you know, you wanted to do it, take it? Or, what I'm saying, was it a surprise that it just?
Yeah.
I
mean, we didn't.
We knew it was a good track.
Yeah.
Because we played it to our friends, and they were like, "Oh no, this is like, you've definitely got something here."
Sure.
But I don't think any artist like really knows how far things are going to go and how popular things are going to be until they put it out. But it was still a big surprise, even though we knew it was a good track.
Sure. And so that was your first track. And then you guys obviously was it an EP you released first?
Yeah,
that's right. And what was the name of that EP?
That was Losing Touch.
Yeah,
Losing Touch.
Same name. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many have you released up until this point?
I don't know. We've released 2 albums.
Okay, albums. Okay,
and then like a load of singles that are basically EPs. We always release 2 tracks at once, and then a couple of remixes.
To promote it, okay.
Yeah, and it gives the fans something new to buy in physical form. So we released a 7-inch picture discs with 1 track on both sides. And then the CD has the remixes on there as well. So
okay, so this is very much a sort of success story. As I say, guys, unsigned. This is something I'm always on about in the channel. Is that, you know, some people rant and they say, "Oh, there's no good music out there anymore." That's not entirely true. There's just a lot of noise out there. But when you search for it, I'm here to tell you, and Rusty will tell you too, there is great music out there. You just need to know where to find it. So. You two are obviously school friends. Were you in school together? Or?
No.
You see, it's funny what you read on the internet when they said Adam and Isaac were childhood friends.
No,
we were
childhood friends.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you could have just said yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I mean, we knew each other when we were both at school.
Yeah.
We were just at different schools.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You see, the fact that Adam answered that in such an analytical way shows that he's a producer and a geek. So
Okay.
there we go. That's right.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you two were sort of like the founding members of Empathy Test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'd kind of done music. I mean, we did music separately, but we always wanted to do music together. We tried various different things,
Sure.
and it never really worked
Sure.
until we did this.
Yeah.
We didn't have a name for it.
The key was
Yeah.
actually the Drive movie. We both watched it.
Oh, really? And
And we were like, hang on, let's try let's lose the guitars and let's try and make a track like that. And when it was using synthesizers, or at least synthesizer sounds, that suddenly everything clicked. And what I did and what Adam did, suddenly we found a way of working together. So
and that's great.
Yeah.
Well, and guys, what I love about this music is it's the music that I always say ticks all the boxes. It's deeply emotional. You really feel that emotion. But it's also good songwriting, and it's not all about the synthesizers. It's not, it's about the songs. You guys happen to use electronics to present your songs, but from what I can get from your music, the way it makes my neck hairs tingle, and literally, it's inspired stuff. And it's that kind of music that if you played it on a piano and you stripped all the great synthesized sound away, it would still work. And that is why I think these guys are the real deal. They've not paid me to say that. I'm just really inspired. So you two were obviously the founding members. When did Chrissy and Oliver join?
2016 I joined. I saw an ad up that they needed a drummer for...
On Gumtree.
Yeah.
On Gumtree?
Yeah.
Drummers on Gumtree, yeah?
Yeah, they needed a drummer for a tour, and I was like, I've never been on tour, that sounds quite nice. So,
You hadn't even graduated from uni yet. had you?
I was in I think I was in my second year of uni, and so I was like, I should probably go and start looking for more work.
Sure.
And then I saw that, I was like, tour, that sounds really cool, haven't done that.
Sure.
Be good to do. And then I met Adam and Isaac at a pub, and
As you do, yeah.
Yeah, we have all our meetings in the pub.
It's the only place to get anything done.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I think it was just like a good vibe sort of thing. And then,
Chrissy basically joined us at the time when we were really starting to branch out into Europe. And,
Sure.
It was our first European tour, 2-week tour on a proper tour bus, supporting another synth-pop band called Mesh.
Oh, Mesh, yes.
Yeah.
I've interviewed Mesh.
There you go.
Yes. So you supported Mesh.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just keeping it in the kind of the family there, because I interviewed them about, when was it, a couple of months, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
Okay, go on, so you supported Mesh.
Yeah, so Chrissy came on that tour. We had a different keyboard player at the time. And that was also the time when Adam decided that touring wasn't for him.
Really? Okay.
So we kind of needed to have a band that was able to play independently of Adam.
I see.
And Chrissy's actually been a massive help in... well, what have you done, Chrissy? Tell us what you've done.
Yeah, go on, Chrissy, what have you done?
so when I first started, what they were using for playback was I thought it could be done better. So the drums. Oh right, yeah. I used to just have the SPD and trigger the samples off that, and then eventually I was like, probably sound cool to get some acoustics on there and triggers.
I see.
So now I have quite a big hybrid setup.
Yeah.
So it's just it's still it's still electronic, but it's sort of my interpretation on those electronic beats. So it just sounds a little bit fatter, really. Well,
it gives it a lot more energy. And we're kind of in the process at the moment of becoming more of a proper live band rather than
electronic.
So the drums have really lent to that, and actually Ollie joining has been another catalyst for that. So
So, and Ollie,
Yeah.
go on. What's your input been? Keyboards or?
Synths, keyboards. I mean, I joined the band in October.
Okay, so you're the new boy.
Yeah.
I sent Isaac a message on Facebook, which is kind of how I joined the band, because I was actually a fan of the band.
Yeah, well,
So I like the
it's
music
good.
a lot.
It's actually good to be a fan of
Yeah.
the band, because you often get these bands that they hire session musers, and the session musers.
I just really like the synth sounds, and so getting to play it live is pretty cool.
That's
obviously. Yeah.
He was very much thrown in at the deep end, because the first show that he did with us was in Germany, and it was a pretty big stage.
Yeah.
I was quite scared.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. What do you reckon? Like about 800 people or something in there. A really
I've
big
never
stage.
played to
Baptism by fire.
I've played to like pubs with 5 people.
Five. We've all done that. Yeah.
No
So
one's
suddenly
singing
he
along.
was like up on a riser, like playing
Yeah.
synths in front of 800 people, and we did a week of shows, and it was like it was clear straight away that Ollie was going to fit into the band really well. It's always been really important that although we want to be as successful as possible, that we're friends with the people and we get on with the people that we're performing with, because you have to spend a lot of time
Exactly.
on the road.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it was Bono that once said. He said the closest you can be to another man without having sex with him.
Oh my God.
Is being in a band with him.
That's why we're in the band, isn't it?
That's why we're all sitting so close together.
Yeah.
But as I say, I'm going to be interviewing you guys separately on my Geek Talk series, where I think we're going to, from what I can tell, it's Chrissy and Adam. You're like the geeky ones, mind you, Ollie as well.
Yeah.
So who is the most?
I'd say we're
geek?
all.
You're all geeky
in slightly different ways.
In different ways. Yeah.
And
also,
I'm probably the least geeky.
well,
I'm not saying I'm cool. No, I'm just saying that, like, equipment.
Okay, no, that's good, and sometimes that can be a big problem in bands, and you often see bands falling apart when there's this crossover between people of egos. I want to produce it, and we see this in, like, we talk about Depeche Mode, which we talk about a lot on this channel, how you had 4 members there that were completely different, and because you're not trying to do what everyone else is trying to do, there's this kind of harmonious way of doing things. Now, so much we can talk. Go on.
Sorry, I just wanted to expand on that.
Please go.
I mean, that is actually
true,
quite important.
Yeah,
and it's really weird that we don't overlap. Because
you're all so passionate about it.
Yeah. And it works so well.
Like we have our kind of assigned roles, which helps. I do a lot of the business side of things,
and I hate all of that.
Yeah,
which is just amazing that Isaac's so good at it.
That's right.
And I'm so bad at it.
Yeah.
And I never dreamt that I would be good in a business sense, but just having something that I'm passionate about and I want to succeed.
Sure.
I'm doing spreadsheets and accounts and buying merchandise, selling merchandise, all of that stuff. And then Adam's like very much doing the production, and he also does the artwork as well, which has been a great help.
Very good, yeah.
Chrissy's like the live technician, so she and Ollie Ollie's new. Ollie's the style man. He's good. Well, but he also produces his own music.
And actually, like, so for the newest stuff, Ollie's getting more involved. And it's actually bringing a whole new kind of sound.
That's fantastic.
To what we're doing. It still sounds like Empathy Test, but it's got an extra something.
It's good that you're allowing that. You're not sort of saying. Session keyboard player, just play these parts. You're actually allowing.
Well, I think it just sort of happened when we were on tour, didn't it? In Hamburg, we were Chrissy was playing his drum beat, and I was like, "Oof, that sounds pretty damn good." And then we played this little riff, just kind of came out of nowhere, and then
I just started singing some vocals. This was all in a sound check, and by the end of the sound check, we almost had a whole track, and we recorded it on a phone, played it to Adam, and Adam was like, "This is the new sound. This is the new album."
And the great thing about it was that it sounded like Empathy Test. So what I was always worried about was because it was always me and Isaac.
Yeah.
And so I had a certain vision and a certain style.
Sure.
In the way I would write music and the way Isaac would write music and the way I would produce and the way I would write synths.
Yeah.
I was always worried that what's going to happen if new people get involved and what's it going to sound like. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, it sounds like Empathy Test, but with
Mach 2.
Because he'd been stalking us. He'd already brushed up on his Empathy Test language.
Yeah. So it's great that it all just works and no one argues.
Steps on each other's toes.
Yeah.
So we had quite an abrupt cut there, guys, because Isaac here had a delivery, and it was a very important delivery. She had to tell us about what you just received.
Well, this is a really important piece of equipment for any touring band. I actually ordered it on Amazon last night, and it's already arrived. Well done, Amazon. Sharpies.
But Isaac, with Amazon, have you noticed they do use, they're very efficient, but they do tend to use a lot of packaging.
Yep.
Sometimes you'll order like a plectrum, and it'll come in like a massive box. It gets to you really fast, but they do use a lot of packaging.
I actually recycle all of the boxes that I receive. So it's a bit of a running joke amongst our fans. I make cardboard sandwiches, basically, to protect the CDs.
Okay.
So I tape the CD in there and then put another piece on the top and put some parcel tape around the outside and send it off. So, yes, we're doing our bit for the environment. And as Chrissy just mentioned, we're thinking of planting some trees. Probably not physically ourselves, but we took so many flights last year that our carbon footprint must be pretty big. So maybe charities that plant trees.
And it's so interesting, guys, because that is actually interesting you should bring this, because this is a big, we don't want to change the sort of subject of the video now, but this just goes to show this is obviously a big subject in the world, the deforestation and all these things. And if you think of it these days, especially the rock and roll lifestyle, which has changed. It used to be all about excesses and getting drunk and flying, whereas it is nice to see, and I've seen it a lot with the newer generations, how there's this kind of this awareness, for wanting to give back, and just understanding that when you're having merchandise made, you're using carbon footprint. You're trying to do your bit too. So that's brilliant.
I also want to at some point move into looking at the fabrics that we use and make sure that it's sustainable and good for the environment as well.
In the next American tour, didn't we want to make that anti-plastic? So we're all going to be given a flask.
That's a massive problem.
Because every time you go to a venue, there's just like racks and racks of like cartons of like water,
plastic bottles,
and people just drink them and then
chuck them down.
And then they forget, so they have a half bottle and they crack open a fresh one. And even if you do write your name on it, like you've misplaced it and stuff like that. At least if you have a flask and you keep it on you. And
every stop on the American tour that we went on last year, it was just like clearing the bus out of plastic bottles, tipping like half the water away and whatever. And it was a real waste. So I'm thinking of making people bring their own flasks, or giving them a flask at the beginning and just telling the venues like not to bother with all the water. Cause
full respect to you guys, really. I've never heard a band that is so sort of serious about it to that level. I really respect you for that. I love the awareness that you guys have got. It's like you guys care, and I feel this in your music as well. It's very, there's heart. There's no, this is written to sell music. It's like it means something, and people can feel it. It really comes across. I get these passion moments, but it's
the hairs on the back of my head.
Oh, there we go. Well, it's yours now.
Adam, it really makes the music that he wants to make, and it's actually quite useful the fact that he doesn't tour with us in some respects, because there's from my point of view, I want to give the people what they want, so it's like our second album, there was a lot of very soft tracks on there that weren't like didn't have a live energy to them, but because Adam's not there worrying about that kind of thing, it's like we continue to do like to make the music that we want to make, rather than copying other people because that's doing well. Or although that said, having now seen us live, the new album is driven by wanting to put more energy into the live shows.
Because I think with electronic music, the sort of cliches, is the twin piece. It's the man behind the keyboards and the girl in the front, or the guy in the front. And with that, there's always this element of static. It's quite, you can never look, and that is why bringing live drumming in, it just gives it more of a,
we wanted to get away from the Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to the Pet Shop Boys, but we're not big fans of the synth-pop duo, the traditional synth-pop duo.
It's been done to death,
And
well, I think it was more, and I don't think it's not a conscious effort, but just for me, like one of the things I really remember is going to when these guys were playing in New York. I went to one of the gigs, and I mean, I don't know what happened, but like there was some problems technically, and so the levels were kind of slightly off. Maybe Chrissy was really annoyed because
we basically had no monitors on the stage,
right.
And
you don't use in-ears, do you?
We do, but at the moment,
like there was no return.
Depending on the.
So even though we had in-ears,
it was the sound. We've later found out the poor guy doing sound, who we were like cursing all night. It was his first day on the job. It was his first show, and there was supposed to be someone more experienced there to help him, and they didn't turn up. So he had no idea of how the equipment at this place worked. No more of an idea than we did. So basically, none of us could hear anything on the stage. I was hanging off the front of the stage for the whole show, listening to the speakers at the front, but Chrissy did the whole show just listening to beep, beep, beep in her ear.
But what, from me, just from a spectator, there was an energy to it.
Sure.
So I don't know whether it's because, there was a level of frustration. So it's just like, you know what, let's just go for it.
Sure.
And Chrissy was like smacking these drums so hard with so much energy.
So it was that passion.
It was ferocious.
Yeah. I was really, really angry.
Yeah. And there was something in that I went, okay. Wow. Right. So it made me go. Yeah. When we do the next album, I want to capture that energy.
What you can do is, Adam, you can always ensure that that the monitor mix is just slightly. Well, listen, we're going to end this part 1 right here, guys, and make sure you tune into the next video where we do part 2 with a fabulous empathy test. I'll see you guys in the next video.